Get started. Yep. Welcome everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, from whichever part you are joining in. Thank you for taking time for this webinar. Yep. Let me give my introduction. So my name is Arpit Patel. I'm a QA manager here at BrowserStack. I have around 11 years of experience in the QA field. I started my journey from BrowserStack itself. I had worked for almost 3 years. Then I moved to a couple of other companies, other startups to get a different kind of exposure to the testing field, testing aspect, and got the chance to build out CDCI pipeline, automation processes, and full-fledged QAT. And last year I joined back BrowserStack again, back to home kind of thing. Yeah, so that's a little bit about my side. We have Sadat here today with us from our accessibility team. Sadat, would you mind giving your short introduction?
Yeah, thank you so much, Arpit. Imagine there's a bridge spanning a beautiful river, and this bridge is built to connect people on either side. People cross it daily to visit loved ones, share ideas, share their lives. But this bridge wasn't built for everyone in mind. And because of that, like it was not having the handrails proper and the pathway was not very even, and people who were having any kind of disability was unable to cross this bridge, and due to this many people were left stranded on one bank watching the world of connection pass them. This is what happens in the digital world when websites aren't accessible. So today, as we delve into the world of web accessibility, I invite you to reflect on the importance of building digital bridges that work for everyone. So, hello everyone, I am Sadat, a technical lead at BrowserStack, and I am dedicated to creating accessibility tools that opens up these bridges for millions around the world. So together, we can ensure that every step, every handrail, every connection is designed with everyone in mind so that no one is left stranded. Thanks, Arpit.
Thank you, Sadat, for the wonderful introduction and the relation with our webinar topic as well. That's a good example to get started with. Before we move on, couple of housekeeping items. Our session will run for 45 minutes today. We'll have a recording available at the end of the call for everyone. All the participant will be on mute, um, so that we can have an engaging session today. We'll have a dedicated 15 minutes Q&A at the end. So please use Zoom Q&A window to send in your questions. Meanwhile, if you have any, uh, so that we can have a wonderful chat at the end as well. Yep. So before we begin, just wanted to do a quick poll. Could you guys take a minute and talk about what kind of accessibility challenges do you face in your work? We have a couple of responses coming in. Yeah, I would request everyone to think about, take a minute and just try to uh, just answer out what kind of challenges, so that we can also enable everyone within the webinar around it. Cool. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I see most of the responses are on the lack of awareness side. There are a few mixed ones with budget constraint, technical challenges, and organization resistance as well. Yep. Thank you everyone for sharing out your challenges. Yep. Yeah, let's get on to the agenda for this webinar. We have a pretty short agenda for today. We want our audience to understand about accessibility, the journey that we as a BrowserStack QA had been through in adopting accessibility, how we can streamline them, and how we can enable everyone within the team so that it can be incorporated within our software development lifecycle as well, right? Yeah, so before we jump into understanding the accessibility, there would be one poll question that would pop up on your Zoom chat. Could you take 1 or 2 minutes to understand or share your thoughts around how many people within the world have some sort of disability? Yeah, the question will be popped up on your Zoom. It would be on a different panel. Hope everyone can see the pop-up and hope they have answered the question as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, so cool. Thank you. Thank you for answering the question. So I would like to also hear about the same from Sadat as well. What what number of people within the world have disability issues? Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Arpit, for asking this question because many people nowadays doesn't know which kind of environment we are in and how many people are suffering on the daily basis and they cannot access they have the real world challenges as well as accessing the websites. So as per World Health Organization, we have over 1 billion people who are having some sort of disabilities, and that's a huge number. Like if you just imagine, like it's like 1 billion people around the world, they have some kind of disability. To break down it further, we have, like, let's say, color blindness. So 1 in 12 men and 1 in 200 women across the globe, they have this color blindness issue. And hearing loss. So 430 million people across the world, which is like 5% of the world population, are unable to hear things properly. They have the hearing loss. And this is estimated to grow by 700 million by the end of 2050, as we are having more, more number of devices, more number of earphones that we are using, high intensity volumes we are living into. So this number is gradually increasing. And by the end of 2050, it is expected by WHO to reach by 700 million. Similarly, we have cognitive or learning disabilities. So around 10% of the world population is having some sort of cognitive or learning disabilities. So people who are having any sort of they cannot remember things, they cannot learn things properly. They are around 10%. of the world's population. And if you go further, we have a lot of different type of disabilities, and there are major disabilities like motor disabilities, where people they cannot use the mouse, or they have some problem in moving the hands or accessing the devices as we do. So that's a huge number. Like every now and then we see, like even this is not just for the disability perspective. Like even if anyone has met with an accident, may God forbid, but someone has met with an accident, they can also cannot use mouse if they have fractured hand or they have any such thing. So this is the number that we are having as of today, and this is the real world you can say that we are into as of now. So I would like to give you more about the real world examples. If you see that there are curbs cut, like a normal world, if you see, if you are going through any of the, if you are going by the pedestrian walks, or you see there are curb cuts. Why they are there? So that people with wheelchairs, they can easily access the sidewalks. They cannot go and they cannot climb over there, as we can easily take one step and go inside the pedestrian lane, but they cannot do that. So we have curb cuts over there. Similarly, we have parking lots that is especially for disabled persons. So that they can easily park their car, they can get into the wheelchair, or they can use clutches that they use if they want to, and then they can get out of the car easily. Similarly, if you see the third image, that is having the sidewalks, and the building entrance is there, and it is having the slope over there, not just the like stairs. So if they are not having, if everyone has to use the stairs, then you just think about the old people, or there are small kids or child who cannot use the stairs. So disability doesn't always refer to a person who has some kind of disability or some kind of issue, but it could happen to anyone at any point of time in life. So if you see the fourth image, that is of the traffic signal. So here, if you see that a person who is unable to see the lights because of the green, red, or yellow color, they can just press the button. And once you press the button, you will hear whether it's a green signal, whether it's a red signal, or you should wait, or you should cross the lane. All those things are embedded over there. Similarly, in the fifth image, I think that's the most common thing that every now and then we see whenever we use any public transportation, that there is a reserved area for accessibility issue, like the person who is having some kind of accessibility issue, they for them they have the reserved area. So this is how the real world around us looks like. Yeah, Arpit, thank you for that question.
Yep. Thank you for sharing your insights around the real world example as well. And I hope this also helps out our audience to gauge what accessibility issues are there within the real world, right? And I could resemble one of them very closely, the fourth image, right, where we have a audible signal uh, audible signal device, right? So when I was crossing out a signal, that time there was a beep sound coming in constantly. So I wondered why that was the case, right? Then I later researched out and understood that this is for specially abled folks who who won't be able to see, but they can hear, right? So they can cross the road or cross the signal safely. Yep. So as an individual, right, we are now very heavily dependent on internet, on website, on mobile applications, right? So also wanted to understand that uh, how is it relevant within our digital world, right? How accessibility is important or why accessibility is important. So could you share your thoughts around that as well?
Sure, Arpit, that I would love to actually. So web accessibility is important because it ensures that everyone, regardless of ability, can access, navigate, and benefit from the digital content, making the web more inclusive and user-friendly for all. So keeping this in mind, like whenever we are going to build any website or we are going to build anything that is on the internet, we should keep everyone in mind, not just few people in mind, not just for ourselves, so that this is the bridge that we are building for everyone, so that people, like your website is the other side, you can say, and there's a bridge and there's the other side, and people from the other side can access this side only when there's a proper bridge, so that everyone can use the bridge and access to the other side and share the information or get the information. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Thank you for sharing why it is important, right? And I could see that it has a very relevant connection within our digital world as well, right? If one particular example could be around the keyboard itself, right? If I am using only just keyboard when it comes to accessing website or anything that I'm doing on my laptop, right? Then I should be able to do that as well, right?
Correct.
Also, yeah, could you also share some real website examples as well, if you have it handy, so that it would be very helpful for our audience as well to connect the dots.
Sure, sure, yeah.
Yep.
Also, I would give a very good example, because it's just a small story, but an interesting one. Uh, uh,
Yeah, I'll hand over the screen with you.
yeah, thank you. Cool, guys. So let's say that I'm very excited to buy a new iPhone. I have sold few things to get the money, and once I got the money and everything, I am excited to buy the new iPhone. But unfortunately, a small accident occurred, and I was unable to use the mouse. And the only choice I have as of now is to use keyboard. I cannot use mouse to book an iPhone. So let's do a quick demo and try to purchase iPhone Pro Max, for which I have struggled a lot and have collected a lot of money. And let's go through it. So the only way to navigate through a website is by tabbing. You have different assistive technologies that simulates the same thing. But when I tap, I see that my I don't know like where my focus is. And now if you see, the focus is on the heart signal. That means I can like the iPhone, but I cannot go and click on add to cart because I cannot use mouse. I have to do tabbing, and the tabbing will take me to the favorite section only, and it is not going to take me to add to cart section. So see, the problem over here is even if I have all the resources available with me, I have good internet, I have accessibility to the website, I have money to buy, but because the design is not inclusive enough, so I cannot go and click on add to cart. And this is the big difference that it is creating in my life because I cannot purchase a new iPhone now. So this is what happens when the website is not inclusive enough for everyone. Yes,
Yep.
Rajat.
Thank you, Sadat. This is a great example, and I think it relates with me as well. Like I mentioned earlier as well, right? If I don't have mouse, how can I do some things, or how can I achieve my goal, right? When I'm
Correct.
trying to access the web overall. Yep. So now that we understand that there are issues on the website, right? There are ways where uh, we can build something that can be inclusive of everyone, right? Not only who is able, but uh, who don't have access or who can't uh, see visually what is happening, or something that a user can relate to, right? When they want to perform an activity or when they want to do something on the website. So how can one as a QA or engineering or a development team, right? They can identify these issues, or what are the few issues that could come up on the website, right? That you would you mind sharing those as well?
Sure, Arpit, I would love to. It's a very painful question, and we had struggled a lot in the past for this. So I'll tell you guys, this is just a demo website that we have created for the demo purpose. And earlier, when we used to do the accessibility testing back like 2 years back, then what we used to do that suppose we got a website that we have to test, and it's mostly our website that we have to test. So what we have to do, I'll give you major two examples that are like the common issues that every now and then we face. The one is the color contrast issue, and the another one is the focus visible issue. Like you don't know where your keyboard is. Like just now you have seen, right? That earlier I didn't know that where my keyboard focus was. Later it came to favorites, and then I realized that it is on favorites. So these two issues I'll be talking about. So first one is the color contrast issue. So most of you might be thinking that the website over here looks quite like I can read what is written over here. I can read what is written over here. I can see the button over here, and I can see the submit button and the forms over here. But this is from our perspective. But what if a person who is having some sort of color blindness issue or having some sort of visibility impairment, then what they will they will be seeing. So for that we have checks, and let's check it. Like what we used to do earlier is we used to have a color picker tool, and we used to just pick like suppose if I want to check the accessibility of this one. So color contrast accessibility, if you have to check, we have to take the foreground color and the background color, and then we have to compare both of them, and the ratio should be 3:1 for double A, and for triple A it has a different ratio. So if we check that, like let's say I have taken the color contrast of the foreground, you can also get the color contrast and things from the CSS. But sometimes like there are radiant colors, or sometimes the background color is changing, so you don't know like what time you have to exactly catch the color, because background color will not give you the exact value. And then this is the background color. So if we have both the colors now, the foreground and the background color, so what we can do, we can go to a tool which is given by the WebAIM, which is also partnered with BrowserStack. They have given this wonderful tool. So I have copied both the things. Like this is my background color, and this is my foreground color. If I paste it here, and if I see, it clearly says to me that this is not accessible. It is failing all the success criteria. So 2.54 is to 1 is the ratio, and at least it should have 3 is to 1 for like some visibility issue person to look into. But for me, if I see from my perspective, I can easily read it, I can easily see it, but we cannot say that a website is accessible. So similarly, we have focus visible indicator issue. I'll just give you a small demo. Let's say like now you can see the focus is on BrowserStack accessibility demo. But if I click next, like you don't know where the focus is as of now, but I can see the focus is on the home page. Then the focus has shifted to features. Then the focus has shifted to pricing. The focus has shifted to contact. But the color of the focus indicator is so dim that I can barely see, because I have built it. So I know that my website is having this. But let's say if I haven't built it, I was not knowing. So how exactly your focus indicator should look like? It should be something like this: vibrant colors, having good color contrast ratio with the background and the foreground, and this should be the proper way that you should implement your any element on the page that is keyboard accessible. So yes, Arpit. So this was the way that we used to find out the color contrast issue and the focus visible indicator issues.
Yep. I think thank you for sharing out these two specific issues, and I think these are the one of the most common issues as well, and they are uh, most impactful issues as well within our life, right? I could relate this same with one of my friend who had a color blindness, but he didn't know that he had a color blindness. So when he was trying to he built out a website. He had a color coding correctly when he coded, but then on the website he could see a different color. So he wasn't able to identify whether it was an accessibility issue, whether he's color blindness, or whether he's doing something wrong over here, right? And I believe like this is specific to couple of fields that we have built out on the demo website, right? And it would be very time consuming as well for someone who is trying to detect it out. So
Correct.
yeah, so also wanted to understand from our audience as well, uh, how much time would it take for someone to identify these issues if you guys are relevant, or if you guys have uh, any prior experience around identifying the accessibility issues, right? So how much time would it take for a single page to identify all the issues as a QA or an engineer, that your website is accessibility compliant or WCAG compliant? Yeah, there will be a poll question on your screen. So could you guys take a minute or two to answer that as well? Thank you for sharing your insight. I see a lot of people have a mixed answer, but one of the most common one I see that has more weightage is around less than a day. So Sadat, I would also want to understand from your side, right? As you have first-hand experienced it, identifying all the issues related to our website. How much time would it take for a single web page uh, to identify all the issues that we have?
So, Arpit, to be very frank with you, it takes more than 3 days for us to identify all the issues. Uh, I would not say all the issues, but yeah, most of the issues that we face, like that we have related to accessibility. So it's like more than 3 days if we were doing it like this.
Yep. So more than 3 days sounds little scary as well.
Correct.
When it Because we are talking about just one page of the website, right? Not talking about like 10 or thousands of pages. Let's say if your website has 500 pages or 1,000 pages, or maybe couple of product pages as well, right? Then it would take eternity as well for someone to identify most of the issues related to accessibility, right? So within your experience, right, now we already know what kind of issues we want to identify, how much effort it takes as well. Is there anything that we could do to optimize this effort, right? Is there anything that we can share with our audience, right? So that it's very less time consuming, very less painful for anyone to do the manual effort and monotonous task.
Sure, Arpit, I would love to because we also faced the same issue and we were so frustrated back then that every time we have to go check the color contrast of the button, the color contrast of the paragraphs that we have written, or the headings. So then, as always, like BrowserStack was a favor for us, and we have built a very powerful and the very convenient toolkit that is called your Workflow Analyzer Toolkit, and it is basically helping us. This is the accessibility toolkit that browser gives. And what you can do is you can just click on the full page scan, and all the issues, everything will be automatically captured within no time. So I have already taken one report for you guys so that you guys can see, look, and feel like how exactly this is working. And you will be amazed by the type of issues that we get with our tool. So I would just give you example of this report. So earlier we were talking about color contrast issues and focus visible indicator issues, right? So here, if you see, BrowserStack has already find out all these issues. Like for me, if I have to think and apply all these things, it will take more than 2 3 days for me to go. But this is a very small page, and this is like just a demo. Imagine that there's a full-fledged page. which is having videos, which is having audio tutorials, or which is having a lot of things which websites have. So here it is telling me that, see, your web page is having color contrast issues. So if I click on this, I can highlight it. I can see, okay, yeah, this is not having the color contrast, and it explains you quite well. Like it is not having the color contrast. It is not meeting the minimum contrast ratio. And you can go further. You can just click on highlight. You can inspect from here. You can like just see over here. It is identifying these, and then you have headings. It is identifying headings also, that these are not accessible. But for normal people, they can see that, yeah, it is accessible, but it is not. Similarly, you can see the focus visible indicator is there. So like the home I have shown you, right, that the focus was not visible over there. So it has, in no time, it has identified all the issues and it has given me over here. And it is so much time saving for me, and it is like saving so much effort for me.
Yep. Thank you for sharing the toolkit and how it works and what kind of information it gives as well, right? So this is amazing way to detect out all kind of issues that we can have for a single page, right? I would also like to understand like how much time does it take to execute the report as well?
So it will take hardly 3 4 minutes as of now to identify all these issues, like the advanced issues and the normal issues, everything. It will just take 3 4 minutes to identify everything, and it will print you the report in no time.
Oh, that's amazing. I think majority of our time, right, that we were estimating around taking it for 3 days. And from our audience pool as well, we could see that almost like 25% of the audience um, had put out the effort. It would take more than 2 days, more than 3 days, right? So this is a great tool for optimizing that effort. And I would also want to understand one more aspect, right? So this takes care of like one page or one URL, right? Let's say if I have multiple URLs, multiple pages that I want to do this scan, still it would take a little while for this toolkit to adapt, right? So is there any other tool or anything within our product that we can leverage or that we had experience in past as well that would optimize this time taking effort?
Sure, Arpit, yes, yes. You are exactly asking the questions that we faced in the past, and we were like struggling with that particular thing. So we also had a full sitemap that we have to like test, like how many, like we have around 50 60 pages in a product. And if you go and look into the browser, we have like a lot of pages, like if you include docs, this, that, website, like so if you go to any website, you have minimum of 50 60 pages, like on a minimum basis. So for that particular reason, we have built a tool called a website scanner. And this is a tool that we use to just you can simply do one thing. You can just add all the URLs over here that you want to, like whatever the URL you want to add, you just write the URL and click on add page. It will add that particular page, and then you can create the scan. And if you don't want to add URL by URL, you just give the sitemap. Let's say you have given browserstack.com, and if you click on add sitemap, it will just load the sitemap, and all the URLs will be displayed over here with all the like folder and subfolder structure that you have. You can select, suppose we have live product, we have automate, we can select those particular thing, and we can create the scan for that. And apart from that, not only this, we have one more very wonderful thing, that suppose most of the people, even sometimes we used to do the same thing, that we used to keep all our URLs in a CSV format or in some sheet format. So what you can do is, you can go here and just click on upload CSV, upload via CSV. It will take the CSV, it will check all the URLs which are present there, and it will automatically create this scan for you. And you can create this particular scan on a repeated basis also. Like you just set the poll, like let's say daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis. So what it will do, it will run it on monthly basis, or it will run it on weekly basis, depending on your release or depending on what time you are setting. So these are the tools that we have that will fix that particular problem that you are having, right? If you want to scan multiple pages at once.
Yep, I think this solves out a lot of effort, lot of pain that we go through in our day-to-day life cycle as well, right? Uh, I believe there's one question in from the audience as well, that does this tool also suggest a solution? So I thought like we can answer it right away as we are on the similar topic, right? So could you share any example or anything that could answer that as well?
So for the solution, if you see over here, like I'll just give you one small example over here. That suppose I was having some color contrast issue. So here I'll expand it a bit for you guys to see. So here it explains the issue that element must meet minimum color contrast rate. And then you read over here, it says that the foreground and the background color is not meeting the minimum contrast ratio. And then you can read more about it by clicking on learn more. Then it will tell you like what exactly it is, how to fix it, and it will tell you like if you have a small text, then what should be the color ratio, and if you have larger text, or like it explains a quite bit. If you see over here, it explains pretty well that how exactly you can make your color contrast as per the accessibility guidelines. And not just this, it will give you insights about the every other issues that you face on the website. Like if you see here, it will tell you that this is the CSS selector. How to fix, if you click over here, here also it will tell you that you should add a visible border, and it will explain you that it should have 3:1 color contrast ratio, all those stuff. You guys can explore.
Yep. Thank you for sharing that as well, and thank you for answering the question as well. Yeah. So now that we have covered out how can we test out uh, our web page or the website, right, within a manual way, right? We can use this tool. We can use the automated. We can use the scanner that would automatically detect all the web page and run the scan, right? So now I also want to understand about your experience on how can we or how can one enable this within a automated test manner or incorporate within the SDLC lifecycle as well.
Sure, yes, sir. So basically, if I have a regression suite and I'm running my end-to-end test cases over there, or I have a sanity suite or any XYZ suite that I have, or a suite that I have created especially for accessibility, wherein I navigate through one page to another, or there are some workflows that I follow. So what we can do is we have our tool called automated test. So here, what you can do, you can just suppose you are using BrowserStack to run your automated test. Then, if you might be familiar with the BrowserStack YAML files that we give. So what you can do is you can just include one tag over there, one key value pair that is like accessibility and true, and the value is set to be true. Once you do that, then automatically whenever you are running this, you will be running the test cases as is. But on the background, BrowserStack will be calculating the issues and evaluating your web pages, and it will do everything on the fly. You don't have to change your web scripts. You don't have to do anything. You just have to add one value in your YAML file, and that's it. And you can see that reports will be generated in no time. Whenever your build is completed, you will have all the reports created over here like this.
Yep, that's really amazing to see how we can incorporate within in an automated way as well. Yep. So yeah, let's move on to our live Q&A section as well. Yep. Uh, yeah, so before we move on, this is what I think Sadat was referring out, that you can download the SDK, you can just set a key value and it would integrate with your automated test as well. And yeah, so let's move on to live Q&A part as well. I see there are a couple of questions already within our chat, right? Um, yeah, Christian wants to understand how does BrowserStack accessibility tool differs from other tool, right? available, such as Chrome Lighthouse plugin? And also, do we have any product or any tool that can help with the mobile apps as well?
Yeah, sure. So BrowserStack, when we say like BrowserStack is different from a lot of, not just Lighthouse. Like there are a lot of tools in the market, but BrowserStack is quite different because if you go and run the page scan, you will see there are a lot of complex issues that we are solving as of now, which if you go and find out, then it will be a lot of time consuming thing for you, and you will not be able to get those particular thing in all these other tools. Like I'll give you one small example, we have for custom elements, let's say. So custom elements are basically, suppose there are two ways, or there are multiple ways to design your website. So let's say I am creating a button, and I can use simple HTML semantic as button, which HTML gives me to create a button. But sometimes people don't create by using simple button as a semantic. They use div, span, and other different things that are available in HTML to create a button which looks like a button, but you cannot detect it. That like the any automated tool in the market, they cannot detect whether it's a button or not. But BrowserStack, we are solving that problem also for you. Our scripts, like they are identifying that okay, these are the buttons. We have built like complex heuristics around that, so that we can identify okay, these are the buttons, and they are missing the ARIA rules, or they are missing some kind of like user cannot understand like what this particular button is doing. Similarly, we have meaningful alt text. Like we have a lot of examples that I can give you as of now. But what I was trying to say is like these are the problems that we are solving that most of the tools you will see out there will not be solving.
Yep, I hope, Christine, that answers your question. And there was another follow-up question from Christine itself. Like, do we also have BrowserStack tool that evaluates accessibility of mobile apps as well?
Yes, we do have. We have, if you explore our products, then we have app accessibility that will check the accessibility of your apps. And that too, we have both. Like we have manual way, like to, or like once you upload your app to device, then it will, you have to click on scan the app, it will scan. One is that way. Another way is you can do it through automation also. Like suppose if you are using our automate product, then or you want to just use our app accessibility automate product, then you can just write the script, and it happens the same way. Like for the websites, similar way it happens for the apps. You just have to upgrade your YAML file, and automatically your app will be tested for app accessibility issues. So yeah, Kishan, we do have for for app accessibility as well.
Yep, thanks. There was another question. Can you share the coverage of this tool with respect to 2.1 AA level guidelines? So how much percentage does our tool covers overall for the WCAG 2.1 AA criteria?
This is this is the question that most of the people ask, but frankly telling, we like no one can say that I am covering this much percentage, because there is no set guidelines, and we cannot say that okay, if I am covering this, so I can say that okay, I have covered this success criteria completely, or like there is a partial coverage, because that is the guide. The guidelines are just one liner or two liner, or maybe explanation, but the thing is that you cannot say that you are covering 100% of, because there are a lot of things around the world. People are building websites in a very different way. Like even if I say that just the focus thing, if I take, right, focus visible indicator, there are 100 different ways that people can design, and you cannot say that you have covered everything. You cannot catch everything over there. Like there will be some misses, and that will be there for all the tools. So percentage wise, like I cannot commit to any percentage, but yes, I can say that we are evolving. We are giving better coverage every other day, every other day you will see that the coverage of our particular accessibility tool is increasing, because we are like building very uh, comprehensive tool, you can say, which is covering different success criteria, and in that success criteria we have different success techniques that we are trying to cover as much as possible. Hope this answers your question. Like,
Yep, thank you. And there was another question from one of the attendees. So can we also export like PDF report of accessibility results? Also, are there any license for accessibility toolkit, or if I understand correctly, this is like, are we trying to purchase the plan for accessibility toolkit as a separate, or does it come with the accessibility plan itself?
so as for the pricing, like I have to even check once like what pricing we are as of now. But if you are having free plan, like DOSTEC gives you a free plan where you can scan, I believe 5 or 10 pages per day that you can do. And if you are having toolkit also, that toolkit will also allow you to scan some number of pages if you are in your free plan. So that I think 14 days free trial we have, and you can like leverage that to see that how exactly our tool is working. And for PDF report, like we don't have as of now, but we are building, because we have for website scanner, we have for assisted test, and we have for automated test. We can download the reports. Surely, like it will come for like all these scanners that we have, like PDF scanner, design scanners, whatever we have.
Yeah, yeah. And I believe this is already in our product roadmap. So we are trying to also build a engaging report where it would directly provide you a report in a way that it will have all the parameters considered for a WCAG compliant, right? If we are targeting as 2.1 AA or 2.1 AAA or 2.2, right? So it will also cater to that aspect, and it will give a one single report that will have all the information around the scans that you have executed. Yep. There was another question around the accessibility toolkit, whether it can identify whether it can identify a issue encountered by user with low or no sight and hearing.
So yeah, Pros, I think to answer your question, the demo which I gave you is basically for the low side people only. Mostly two things which I have selected, because we are facing these issues on the lot of websites, like the color contrast issue which I told you, and like the focus visible indicator, because that is not visible. And they have like other such like success criteria covered for this particular thing only. So yes, like we do cover. I'm not saying like we are covering like a lot of things, but yes, we are covering a lot of things for low or no sight. And for hearing, what if you are saying that we have the screen readers available in BrowserStack, you can go and check out the screen readers. So if a person wants to just hear out like what is there on the website on different operating systems with different browsers, then you can use the screen readers for that purpose. Hope that answers the question.
Yep, and there is one another follow-up question as well. Yeah, it is more related to the transaction workflow. Let's say if you are searching a product, you are adding it to cart and then navigating it to checkout, right? So would the automation script, or is there any way they can incorporate this workflow and identify the accessibility issues, right?
Yes. So there are two ways that you can do this. One is through our accessibility toolkit that we are giving. So whenever you go to accessibility toolkit and you click on full page scan, so that full page scan is not only just the scan of your full page, but it's also waits for you to do some action, and then it will again scan the page. So it is basically a workflow scanner. That's why we say it as a workflow scanner, not just a static scanner. So if you download our toolkit and if you click on full page scan, then you see the message saying that scanner is on standby. And as soon as you perform any function, like suppose over here you are on the product page, and then you perform any function, like you click on add to cart and you go to checkout page, then it will track all those things, and it will like create the result based on the workflow that you have followed. And the workflow logs will also be displayed to you that you have navigated from this page to this page, then this page to that page. So that is one way. Another way is you can obviously use our automated toolkits. Like we have given the support to mostly like a lot of frameworks which are there in the market, be it Playwright or be it Selenium or anything that you are using. So you just have to like add it to the YAML files, that accessibility true, and then you can give whatever parameters you want to give for accessibility. And for all the workflows that your test case is following, your accessibility will be calculated, like it will be evaluated. Hope like I answer this question.
Yeah, and there's one final follow-up as well. Does it compile a single summarized report and a report for each page navigated as well?
So it will, okay, suppose your URL is changing whenever you are like navigating from a page to page, or it is going from like, then it will create a single report where it says that, okay, these are the issues, but you have the filters, and that filters you can select, and you can say that, okay, like suppose you have selected one page, like if I say that BrowserStack Live landing page is there, BrowserStack Live landing page. So that is BrowserStack slash live. And if from there, if suppose I clicked on sign in, so it goes to BrowserStack slash user slash sign in page. So my report will be generated as one, but from the page filter, I can easily say that, okay, there are two pages that got scanned, and can select one page and see the accessibility issues that are there in that particular page.
Yep. I hope this answers all the questions that everyone has. In case if you guys have any additional questions, you can reach out to us over the contact sales or contact support from our website directly. It's a very short form that is available. And if you want to connect over LinkedIn as well, feel free to do that as well. And yeah, we'll share the recording at the end of this session over the email or over the Discord channel itself. Yep. Yeah, so that summarizes the Q&A part. So there is one poll question we wanted to do before moving on to the end phase of it. We also wanted to understand any interest that you guys would have on our upcoming BrowserStack events, right? So there is one that is around a journey from a tester to a leader, how one can have a, have defined a career growth within the testing side. And there is another major event that BrowserStack is hosting out is the Breakpoint. So it is on 14th and 15th May. So we would have our founders also uh, presenting and sharing their thoughts around how the testing, how we are redefining the testing within the AI era. And it would be also more on connect, learn, and grow. Yeah. Yeah, so there would be a poll question on your screen. So just share your interest around this uh, events as well. Yep, and finally, feel free to join our Discord community so that we can have more topics covered, more questions, or more educative uh, webinars that we could do, and we can connect, grow, and overall learn from each other, from our community itself, from testers, from developers as well. Yep. Uh, and thank you so much for taking time for this webinar. I hope we have answered your question. We have helped you understand what is accessibility, how it relates to our website or mobile applications and how one can optimize their journey, right? Yeah, thank you so much and see you until the next time.
Thank you.